You want to know what happens when you give the government an inch? Australia. That's what happens. Australia. A few days ago, there was a machete attack at a shopping center in Australia. Now, because one group of people decided to cosplay as the Walking Dead, Australia's government decided to ban machetes. Yes, machetes. I wish I was making this up, but lucky for us, the news doesn't even try to hide it. Let's roll the first clip.
I'm Lorna Dunkley with breaking news. The shopping centre in Melbourne's north is in lockdown while police investigate reports of a stabbing. Emergency services were called to the Murray Road shopping centre in Preston just after 2:30 this afternoon, following reports of opposing groups fighting, some armed with knives. One man has been taken to hospital in a serious but stable condition. Police arrested two men who are currently being interviewed.
So naturally, after banning guns didn't stop violence, the Australian government did what governments do best. Instead of asking why this keeps happening, they decided to ban something else. And here's what they're doing now.
Developing news now, an Australian first ban on machetes has taken effect in Victoria this hour.
They were only given 2 days to do so, Tash, after the snap ban was announced on Monday following a wild brawl between two rival gangs at Northland Shopping Centre in Melbourne's northeast. This is not a new conversation. We already had a date for the ban. That was supposed to be September 1, but this violent incident on the weekend saw mounting calls to bring the date forward. Knives longer than 20 centimetres long are now banned in all Victorian retailers, but...
And there it is. This is why every time someone says, well, can't we just compromise a little? My answer is no. Because this is what compromise looks like over time. Guns today, machete tomorrow, toothpicks next Thursday. The anti-gun lobby and honestly most government bureaucracies aren't interested in solving the problem. They're interested in controlling the tools, not addressing the behavior. And when the first ban doesn't work, the solution is always more bans. See, this isn't about the tool. It never is. If it were, we'd have banned fists and feet by now. But fists don't give the government more control. Guns do. Knives do. Machetes do. Banning those means more power. And let's be honest, if Home Depot sold medieval maces, they'd be next. When I first got into 2A advocacy, I'll admit I thought maybe we could find some middle ground. You know, some common sense stuff. The real common sense stuff. But you learn real quick. Compromise with people whose end goal is your disarmament is just a slow walk towards the same cliff. You're not changing their direction. You're just dragging your feet. Australia had one mass shooting and then they banned guns, destroyed them, they celebrated it like they saw violence. But spoiler alert, banning the tool doesn't delete evil. Now machetes are banned. But the violence didn't stop. So guess what comes next? Another ban, another tool, another inch taken. And here's the kicker. They're not even banning all large knives. You can still walk into a store and buy a 19-centimeter knife like you're trying to carve brisket at a barbecue. So clearly, this is not about logic. It's about appearance. It's about control. And this is why Americans can't afford to get comfortable. Right now, some of y'all are breathing easy. You're like, we've got the courts, we've got the House, we're good. But presidents don't last forever. Trump can't run again, and the moment the other side finds someone more likable than Kamala Harris, and that's a low bar, they're back in power. And when they are, the bans come back. I've seen this happen over and over again. I've been doing this for 20 years. It cycles itself all the time. And we do the same shit. We get comfortable, and then all of a sudden the Dems back in power and they're pushing all these gun control laws, and you're like, what's happening? The sky is falling. No, you didn't listen the last time. That's why we don't get to rest. That's why we stay vigilant, because the moment we let our guard down, we're right back where Australia is, trying to figure out whether your kitchen knife is now a criminal offense. And you know what the government never does? They never say, how do we help people defend themselves? Because empowering people means making the government less necessary. And that's the one thing they'll never allow, because once you can protect yourself, their power becomes inconvenient. So yeah, today it's machetes in Australia. Tomorrow it'll be assault cutlery, then high capacity shoelaces. Then maybe, just maybe, they'll go after the real threat. Those deadly plastic straws. Oh, wait. They already did that shit. One thing's for certain and two things are for sure. Politicians and tech giants don't want gun content to be recommended to you. And we're all fighting this culture war together. Now you can help do your part by liking, commenting, subscribing to the channel, but most importantly, sharing this video with at least one person. Together we can stop the suppression of our 2A rights. And don't forget to click the link in the description section of this video for the products that I mentioned in this video.